stuck to the plan. Always said that we would stand up, never ran. We the fam and loyalty never change up. Been down since day one, look at where we came from. Jumping out on anybody who try to say something. One thing about it, got a problem, I got the same one. Money rolls, we fold. Plenty clubs, we close. Follow the same code. Never turn our backs, our cars don't even lose control.
Welcome to the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. This is episode number 10. I'll be your host for today's show. As always, I'm Big Ten Network Student U Wrestling Analyst Eric Olenowski, and on today's show, we have two-time Michigan State champion Phil Cozine joining us on the show. Phil, welcome to the show.
How's it going, Eric? Thanks for having me on.
Not bad, man. Thanks for asking. We usually do a review and a preview for the week. We had Zach Sanders on episode number 9, so if you haven't checked out episode number 9, make sure you go to AssociatedWrestlingPress.com and look for episode number 9 on the front page ticker if you haven't already checked that out. So what we missed for this past weekend, the highlight of the wrestling world that was kind of blew up, was the number 3 Ohio State versus number 6 Mizzou duel. Did you have a chance to check it out?
Oh, it was a great duel meet. It was a lot of action, a lot of fun. I believe it came down to a criteria too.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not sure what the.
What's up? Sorry about that.
I'm not exactly sure what the criteria was. I believe it was takedowns or.
Yeah,
it was
they
19-19 tie though.
19-19, and then Mizzou ended up getting the 1 point for the criteria point because they went and looked back. It went all the way to the last criteria, and that's who got the first takedown. And Waters got the first takedown on Tomasello in the 125-pound match. So, I mean, if Tomasello would have came out shooting, it would have been a different duel. But like we said, Mizzou ended up winning 20-19. One thing that bugged me about this duel was you have Le'Veon Mays ranked number 8 in the country, and you forfeit. You can't forfeit in a college duel.
That's something that I was looking at too, and it makes sense. If in a team competition, there's a two-way street here. For winning the dual meet, you want to win the dual meet, obviously. But for an RPI, rankings, matchups, ranked wrestlers inside the top 10 wrestling each other, it would have been a great match to see. And I know a wrestling community loved watching, two wrestlers go at it inside the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, like you were saying, for the RPIs, you can't get any better than Logan Stieber, 3-time returning national champion, number 1 in the country. I mean, he wrestles in the Big Ten, so he's going to have those top-ranked matches that you need. And Le'Veon Mays, with them being in the MAC, Mizzou being in the MAC now, I mean, there's good wrestlers, but the level of competition that he just blew off is nothing. I'm not going to take anything away from Brian Smith and the coaching staff over at Mizzou because they got the job done in the end, and that's all they needed to do. So they get paid the big bucks to do that. So I'm not going to hold it against them.
Maybe they were a little afraid of him. I mean, he did major the national finals, Devin Carter, last at the Cliff Keen tournament. So
yeah,
I mean, he's tough, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's definitely on a different level this year than he was last year. Just looking fluid. So whatever he did in the off season obviously helped. So that was the Ohio State, number 3 Ohio State versus number 6 Mizzou. Mizzou ends up taking it 20-19. Let's move on to the upcoming duels for this weekend. We're going to look at number 7 Penn State taking on number 9 Virginia Tech, and that's going to be on the December 19th. If they start at 25, this is going to be one heck of a duel going all the way down. Starting out, Jimmy Conway versus Joey Dance. Joey Dance.
It's going to be a good one, man. Jordan Conway was behind Nico Maglutis last year, returning national finalist. Got his chance to get in the lineup now. This is a chance to take down one of the best guys in the country, Joey Dance, number 3 ranked guy from Virginia Tech. So see if he can get it done. But I'm going to take Dance in this one. He's tough. Like you said earlier, we were talking earlier, he's got that slick misdirection shot. He's looking tough.
Yeah, and the one thing that Joey Dance has kind of been getting a lot of attention for is his suckbacks. He hit it when Virginia Tech wrestled Ohio State at Virginia Tech. He hits Tomasello with the suckback, ends up getting the 2 near fall, and then he's wrestling Dylan Peters and ends up sucking him back. What he does is he baits you on top. He lets loose. He baits you to sit out. Once you sit out, he just goes right to the chin, and he is tough as nails once he gets you on your back. He's like a shark in the water that smells blood. This is going to be a good one. I got Dance as well. Let's move on to 133. Jimmy Goolibon, ranked number 5, is going to take on Kevin Nordstrom of Virginia Tech. Goolibon.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
I feel
one.
like we're going to take Jimmy in this one. He's been tough. He's tough on top. Nordstrom's ranked 19th ranked wrestler in the country, but I'm taking Jimmy in this one with a major decision.
All right, nice. Yeah, and like I said, it was on one of the previous episodes. Jimmy Goolibon had a lot to live up to. David Taylor, Ed Ruth, those guys are, they're known in the world for wrestling. All over, not even this country, all over the world because of how good they are. Jimmy Goolibon's coming in at 18, 19 years old, getting thrown to the Sharks in the Big Ten, and they're saying, hey, we need you to win a national title. Your weight class is going to be one of the determining factors in Penn State winning our 4th consecutive national title. He didn't get the job done as he should have last year, but this year he's coming out and he's wrestling. He's firing on all cylinders. So, yeah, I like your major. I think it's a good pick, but I'm just going decision on that one.
All right.
141, Cade Moss or Michael Waters taking on Devin Carter. No brainer. Devin Carter is
an easy one. Devin Carter's tough. He dropped down to 41, after losing to Sal Mastrini. But, yeah, Devin Carter definitely in this one.
Yeah, and the thing with Devin Carter is he's ranked number 3 in the country, and he's so good. But when you think about what Logan Sieber was able to do to him in the Vegas finals, it just goes to show you the level that Logan Sieber is at this weight class. Is there anybody that's going to be able to keep up with the pace that he can keep? So now, let's move on to 149. Zach Bites and Sal Mastriani.
This is going to be a barn burner. I think this is going to be a good one. Something that Sal beat Devin Carter at the Hokie Open, took him out and made Devin Carter go down to 41. So he's got the talent, beat a national finalist, good workout partners in the room with Devin Carter. So this is going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah, and I'll say I'll take Mastriani. I think I'm comfortable in saying he didn't have the showing that he would have liked to at Vegas, but just a bump in the road. You need losses in order to get better. I think he's going to learn from the Vegas experience. I'm taking Mastriani. He wins this, gets back in the ranking, so expect to see him somewhere next week at 20, 19, right around there. I think he ends up taking this one. We'll skip 57, Cody Law or Dylan Alton versus Wesley. Not too much. We'll skip 65. This is the match. If there's 3 matches that you could call the match of the duel: the Conway Dance, the Matt Brown Epperly, and Ginrich and Ty Walls at heavyweight. So we'll go Matt Brown versus Epperly.
Matt Brown, man, he's been around for a while now. It seems like he's been in college for about 5 years. But yeah, it's his time. It's his time to either show up or ship out. So I think he's going to come away with a solid win here. I don't know about a major decision, but definitely a decision against Epperly.
Okay. I go Matt Brown too. I think he is 47 years old, divorced twice, 6 kids. He's been around forever. He actually coached Cale Sanderson before he started wrestling. No, I'm just kidding. All right. 184. Sorry, you got me off topic. I'm like, maybe stop cutting the jokes. 84.
Morgan McIntosh versus Jared Hout. Hout's a tough guy, but I say McIntosh is gonna take him down. Number 5 ranked wrestler, returning All-American.
Wait a second. Do you call him
Yeah.
McIntosh? It's McIntosh.
How do you say it? Macintosh. Well, all right, Macintosh. It's McIntosh.
And
McIntosh. Whatever. All right.
well, this
Anyways,
is 97. All right. So who do you got here?
Yeah, 97. I'm taking Morgan. I'm not even gonna say his last name, and
McIntosh.
with a major decision there.
You're just throwing out majors left and right.
Hey man, it's Kale Sanderson's got these guys training, looking for majors, looking for big points. So,
all right. Let's move on. So we skipped 84. McCutcheon and Austin Gable. Nah, we'll skip that. We already went over it. You got McIntosh or McIntosh, however you want to say it, winning at 97. Heavyweight or 285. Like I said, this could also be a a match of the duel. Gingrich taking on Ty Walls. We were talking earlier, and you said you're going Gingrich.
Yeah,
I
think he's strong. Shows up in big matches. Kind of a gamer. He likes the big matches. Looking to wrestle a guy that's ranked ahead of him and getting that All-American status. So, yeah, I'm taking Gingrich in this one.
All right, I like your picks for that. Threw a couple majors out there, but that's good. That is on the 19th. Let's move to the Grapple at the Garden, and that is going to be at the pinnacle of all athletic venues, and that's Madison Square Garden. What an opportunity for these teams to wrestle. So we'll just highlight a couple of these. We don't have too much longer on the show, so we want to keep it nice and short and sweet. We'll start out with number 4 Cornell and number 5 Edinburgh. All-Americans spread throughout this duel. Starting off the duel, 22 Corey Mines taking on Nishan Garrett.
Yep, this is going to be a good one. Not so much good one in terms of Nishan Garrett racking up some points. He should handle this kid pretty easily. Mines won 2 matches at the NCAAs last year. Looking to improve his ranking, but I don't think he's going to do it against Nishan Garrett. He's just too strong.
Yeah, and Corey Mines is one of those wrestlers you always see it. I have said it multiple times on the show. You see him anywhere from 22 to 18. He's never going to get higher. He's never going to get lower. He beats the guys that he's not supposed to, and he loses to the guys that he's supposed to beat. He's so unpredictable. You can't count on Corey Mines. So, we're expecting Nishan Garrett to come out here and just put on a show. Knowing Corey Mines, I'm not saying he can beat him, but in order to win this duel, one of these high-ranking guys is going to have to pick up bonus points, either for Edinburgh or for Cornell. So, can Corey Mines stop Nishan Garrett from getting the 4 or 5 or 6 points and just keep it to 3 is what I'm going to want to see. Speaking of bonus points, number 1 ranked 133-pounder in the country, AJ Shop versus Bricker Dixon. I'm going AJ Shop with the tech fall. I say...
Oh, easy.
Yep,
tech fall, he's just a hammer on top. He's going to turn him like a page.
Monster. I love that. Turn him like a page. Look at you. You need to call my lawyer. We'll coin that.
Hey, my people will talk to your people. Let's do the show.
All right. So 141, Mitchell Port versus Mark Gray. Mitchell Port is number 2 in the country. Mark Gray, 16.
I'm excited about this one. You know why? I like Mitchell Port. He's a tough son of a gun. But I think Mark Gray wants to. He's got his brother there. He wants to prove something at Cornell. He wants to get on the map. And this is a match to do it. If he can show up and keep it close, get a W, or yeah, it's a good one. It's going to be a great match. I think this is one that I'm looking forward to watching.
Yep, I'm with you on that. This next one too, David Habit versus Chris Villalonga. Villalonga looked absolutely fluid. Just very fluid at the Vegas tournament. He knew where he got to his positions. He knew where he needed to be. He never lost sight of where he wanted to be. He stuck with his game plan, and he's in and out. He's just smooth. He's swift. He knows exactly what he's doing. Everything, it seems like he plans everything to the T. And it's almost like he's one of those Blair guys. So you know that Buxton trained him well from a young age. So he's prepared for these tough matches. So this is going to be a good one. Who do you have in this one?
I'm going to take Villalonga. And
All right.
the reason I say this, he's proved himself before. Like you said, he looked great at the Vegas tournament. You know, it was a 3 seed at the NCAAs last year. Didn't end up placing. So,
Nope.
you know, it's now or never. So, you know, he's facing a returning All-American who was at the same weight last year as him. Habit took fourth. So we'll see. I'm going to take Villalonga in this one. It's going to be a close one.
I agree with you. I really like that decision. I think Habit is they're just nails on top. If Villalonga can get out from the bottom, he's golden.
Yep.
That's where he needs to be. He needs to stay on his feet, right on top, and he can't get stuck underneath because these Edinburgh guys, they will ride you like a leech. Once they get on top, they're holding you and they're not letting you go. So, you know what? I like that call. I like the Villalonga over David Habit. You heard it first on the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. Phil Cozine says Villalonga has taken down Habit. Let's move on to 157, Austin Matthews versus Rel Budo.
I like Rel Budo, man.
I knew you were going to say it. You're obsessed with him.
He is fun to watch, man. I'm not upset. He's fun to watch. He's a good guy to watch. Returning All-American towards ACL at the NCAA's last year, and still wrestled a hell of a match with a Derringer in the semi.
Yeah,
so,
I think if you go back to ESPN ratings had to have been through the roof when Rel Budo was wrestling because you knew he was hurt. If you watched it, you said, man, he's hurt. But look at the grind on this kid's face. He stuck it out. That's what our sport is about, is sticking the tough times out. Everyone knew. The refs knew. The coaches knew. He knew. Derringer knew that he was hurt. Everybody knew, but he stuck it out. So
definitely.
He's a gamer, so you're taking. I knew you were taking him. I didn't even have to ask you.
I love watching him wrestle. I hope he wins an NCAA title this year. So, I'm going with Rel Budo on this one.
Okay. Let's move on to. We'll skip 65, 74. The big match. The next big match and the final big match of the duel is going to be 184. Vic Avery, ranked number 9, versus number 3, Gabe Dean. Gabe Dean coming off a tough Vegas tournament with 2 uncharacteristic losses. You don't see one thing you know that you're going to get out of Gabe Dean is 7 minutes. You can put your last dollar that you're going to get 7 full minutes out of Gabe Dean. That wasn't the case at Vegas. You didn't get 7 minutes out of Gabe Dean. You got 5:30. So it's tough. I think, I don't know if his head wasn't there. Something was going on. I'm not looking into it too deep. I think Gabe Dean is going to bounce back. I think just a bad weekend. It happens. I'm not looking too deep into it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to bounce back as well. But, also, is this the same Gabe Dean that took down the Truth last year in Ed Ruth? Is he hurt? What is the scenario? Is there something that we don't know? So it's very uncharacteristic of him, but I think he's going to bounce back if he's not injured or something we don't know.
Right. And, I mean, we'll see. Could it be 3 losses? I hope not, but we'll see. Vic Avery's tough, and he can do it. I want to just touch a couple more topics, and then we'll wrap up the show. We don't want to keep you too long. Northern Iowa and Cornell are wrestling next. A match. I'll give you one match to watch for. Dylan Peters and Sean Garrett. This would have been, if Joey Dance didn't knock off Dylan Peters, we would have saw this last week at Vegas. This is going to be a good one. I think Sean Garrett, he's going to tear Dylan Peters up on his feet, but it won't be as bad as...
Yeah, I think I like Peters in this one. I want to mix it up and, change up the 125-pound weight class because Doug Schwab has that Iowa mentality of wrestling, and, he's brought that to Northern Iowa. And I think they're going to keep it Peters going to keep it close, and, they're coaching him up to win this match.
Yeah.
And I believe that. So I'm going to take Peters in this one in an upset. Number 5 ranked over number 2, Garrett, and we're going to twist things up at 125.
I like that. I'm not. I said just because I say I like it does not mean I'm going with you. I'm agreeing. I'm going Garrett in this match. But how cool is the Schwab Mob? What a name!
That's a great student section. I tell you what.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just one quick note to touch on: Franklin Gomez will wrestle Brett Metcalf in the Flow Pro League. So make sure you look at that. Both of us, Michigan State alum.
I believe it's in Chicago, correct?
Chicago, yes, sir, it is. So if you're in Chicago or you're in the surrounding area, make sure you go support one of our Michigan State Spartans in Franklin Gomez, currently training and coaching at Pennsylvania State University. Anything you want to touch on before we let you go?
I just hope Frankie G hits him with the super special Supreme Duck or something.
Yep, I'm with you on that one.
Put him on his face.
All right. Well, we want to say thank you very much, Phil, for coming on the show. If you ever have any duels that you want to go over, you're welcome to come talk wrestling. We're open here at the College Wrestling Review for any open discussion, any educated. What's the word I'm looking for?
Any educated guesses? Well, I can do that. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm definitely going to be watching some wrestling, and I'd love to be back on the show with you sometime. All
right. Thank you very much. And that's Phil Cozine. This is episode number 10 of the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. I've been Eric Ownowski. He's been Phil Cozine. If you haven't checked out the Associated Wrestling Press's college rankings that are done weekly by J.J. Johnson, make sure you go to AssociatedWrestlingPress.com and check those out. That's it for our episode number 10. Thanks for joining us.